Hey, it's Beata from BA English Coaching and welcome to our next lesson. I am with
David. Hello again, everybody.
We are doing mixed conditionals today. Done all four already. Zero, first, second, third. And if that wasn't difficult,
It was interesting and challenging, but once you get used to it, it's not too difficult.
hopefully you have understood all four of them. And now, just to complicate things a little bit, we are doing mixed conditionals. So we are going to explain how mixed conditionals work in English. We will give you examples, and as always, we would like to make it inspirational. So we have some quotes at the beginning.
So the first quote is from a lady called Melchora Aquino. She was a Filipino lady who lived in the 19th century and was very important in Filipino independence. And she said, "I have no regrets, and if I had 9 lives, I would have gladly given them all up for my country."
She was an inspirational lady, absolutely amazing. She died at the age of 107, and she said this quote, which is actually using a mixed conditional.
Okay, the second one is by a very famous American writer called Mark Twain. And he said, "If I had more time, I would have written less."
Now, this is an interesting quote, isn't it?
Okay,
because
so
we would think, why did he say if I had more time,
I would have written less?
Yes.
It's interesting quotes. As a lot of you probably know, writers in the 19th century always wrote very, very long books. Now, in those days, there were no TV, no internet, so people had a lot more time to read if they had enough leisure time. So,
and candles.
kind of. So today, I think we would probably agree we don't have quite as much time to do some reading. So therefore, any book you want to read should be a little bit less to read. But whether he's referring to that or not is an open question.
Or maybe that he was referring to the fact that he would have enjoyed his life more.
Because he didn't actually say this, but if he said I had more time, I would have written less, so I could have lived more. That would be a possible alternative addition to that quote, but who knows? Who's to say?
We can only speculate. So before we start looking at the mixed conditionals, we have prepared a short review. We will consider so you will consolidate each conditional, and you are confident with it, and you know when to use them. With the zero conditional, and since David is a science teacher, this is totally up to his trade. So could you please explain the zero conditional?
Okay, if you remember way back when we had a look at the zero conditional, it applies to things like facts, scientific laws, things that have a definite result. So an example would be, if you argue with him, he gets angry. If you heat ice, it melts. If she is late, she never apologizes.
And if we look at the grammar, the condition is in the present simple, and the result is in the present simple as well.
First conditional, examples would be, if we win today, we'll go to the top of the league. We may win or we may not. If I see them, I will tell them. I may see them.
We use the first conditional when we are talking about likely, probable, real situations. So something that may happen in the future. And we use the present simple in the if clause, and we use will or modal verbs in the result clause.
In the second conditional, we've got some examples like this. If Johnson was in the team, I'd feel more confident. But Johnson is not in the team, so we don't feel confident. That's the result of that condition. If I had more money, I would buy a bigger house. But I don't have more money, so I cannot buy a bigger house.
We use the second conditionals when we are talking about hypothetical situations, something we imagine, we dream about, and we use the past simple in the condition clause, and then we use would or could or might in the result clause.
The third conditional, we got some examples like this. If Peter had played, we'd have won. Peter did not play. If I had caught the earlier train, I would have been there on time, but I did not catch the train, so I could not get there on time. So that's the result of that condition.
We use the third conditional when we are talking about things, events that happened in the past and we are now thinking about them differently. So some of the things that you can talk about are regrets. We use the past perfect in the if clause, and it's followed by would plus have plus past participle in the result clause. If you want to understand the mixed conditionals, you need to be 100% confident with these 4 types. So mixed conditionals. What are mixed conditionals, David?
Okay, so mixed conditionals, it sounds complicated, but it's really quite simple.
Well, it is complicated.
It is complicated, but we try to make things as simple as possible because it makes life easy for ourselves.
Yes.
And we like life to be easy, don't we? So the most common combination of a mixed conditional is where you have a mixed third and second conditional.
So this is the most common. So with this combination, we are contrasting an imagined event in the past with the present result of that.
So some examples, so listen carefully. If you hadn't woken me up in the middle of the night, I would not be so tired now. But you did wake me up in the middle of the night. So the result is, I am tired now.
As you can see, we have the past perfect in the if clause, but then we have the would plus infinitive in the second clause. So we have the third one with the second one. The second example.
Okay, so why are you sitting in the dark? Let's just say that if you had paid the electricity bill last night, we wouldn't be in the dark now. But you didn't pay the bill, so the result is we are in the dark now. If you had done what the doctor told you, you wouldn't still be lying sick in bed. But you didn't do it, so you're still in bed now.
So we use the past perfect if you had done, but you didn't do it. So we imagine the situation differently. But the present result is that you are in bed, but you wouldn't be if you had done it. And the fourth one?
If he hadn't stopped to help her change her tire, they wouldn't be married now. But he did stop and help her, so they are now married. And if I can suggest something for you to practice, why don't you practice with your partner or with a friend? All of these conditionals, just practice with each other until you become happy in saying these things.
Yeah, you can speculate about your past. What if we hadn't done this? What if I hadn't said this? What if I hadn't, all these kind of situations. There's so much you can practice. Real life offers you so many opportunities to practice your English, so just do it.
And it will help you talk about and think about real and imagined situations, and it makes your level of English much more confident, much more
fluent.
Yes,
and you can always share your examples on our Facebook page. We would like to hear them.
Yeah, absolutely. Let's get some feedback.
The good news is there are only 2 common types of mixed conditionals. And the second one is when we have the second plus the third one. So similar to the first one, but they are the other way around. And when do we use them? So with this combination, we are talking about an unreal present situation, and it's probable but unreal past result. Again, I think you may want to pause the video and think about this. So let's have a look at some examples again.
Okay, so taking the first example, if I could speak French, I would have understood the song.
The whole situation was, yesterday I heard a French song, but I didn't understand the words because I can't speak French. And now I speculate about the situation and I say, if I could speak French, but I can't, I would have understood the song but it's finished and I didn't understand it.
If he wasn't a doctor, he wouldn't have helped you. He was able to help you because he is a doctor. If I had a bigger car, I could have slept in it.
So do you have a big car?
No,
And did you sleep in it?
no.
Okay. And number 4?
If I didn't have to work this week, I could have gone skiing with my friends last week. So I couldn't go skiing with my friends last week.
Because you have to work this month. You will need to spend some time
Practicing.
and understanding these conditionals because they are a bit tricky.
And remember, you're using real life situations, and this is complicated language, but life is complicated as well. So, just keep practicing and you will get used to it.
Yes, you will. We use mixed conditionals, as I said, which include parts of both second and third conditional sentences. And we have prepared some short dialogues. And again, we will go through them and we will ask you questions. You look tired, David.
Well, if you hadn't woken me up in the middle of the night, I wouldn't be so tired now.
So, did I wake you up?
Yes, you did wake me up.
Are you tired now?
Yes, I am, because you woke me up.
1. Is John a practical person?
John, no, he isn't. If he was, or if he were a practical person, he would have put those shelves up a bit quicker. It took him ages. So, is he practical? No, he is not practical.
And did he put the shelves up quickly?
No, he didn't. It took him ages. He was very slow because he is not practical.
Why are you sitting in the dark?
Let's just say that if you had paid the electricity bill last month, we would not be in the dark now.
So, did he pay the bill?
No, he didn't pay the bill.
And are you or are they in the dark?
Yes, we are in the dark because you didn't pay the bill.
Why are you so angry with me? All I did yesterday was play football.
If you loved me, you wouldn't have left me here all alone on my birthday.
So now the big question is, does he love her?
Doesn't sound like it because he left her all alone on her birthday.
So did he leave her?
Yes, he did. Okay, so as we said a minute ago, these are complicated examples, but it is true of real life, and the only way that you can get to grips with this kind of language is simply to practice, practice, practice. Have fun. Talk about real life situations, and gradually it will become second nature to you.
Exactly.
Be confident.
Yes. Yes, so as David said, life is complicated, conditionals are complicated, but if you spend the time, if you work on it, if you study, you will find the pattern. So hopefully we have done this lesson enjoyable and useful. Please like it, share it and subscribe. Don't give up. Don't be the same.
Remember, there are no problems, only solutions.
Yes. So hopefully we have given you solutions with the mixed conditionals.
Bye.
Bye.